Morning, boys and girls. How are we today? Today I'm going to try something different. Not here, but with the camera. I'm going to try to do a time lapse thing that shows the process I use to get my horn wrapped up on a saddle. Some of the things that I did not show you, let me get a set of dividers real quick. Now this part won't be the time lapse because you're going to want to hear me and everything. What I do is two things, two measurements to double check myself. Number one, I'll go from the middle of that horn to the edge of it. And then I'm also going to come down here, and 9 times out of 10, depending, unless it's just an oddball horn, that will be how wide this neck is up here. Not down there, but up here, which is where you're going to make your, start your wrap at. So then I'll take my filler piece, which is right here, and then I'll take this measurement there, transfer it there like you see, and then I'll cut straight. That's going to start my welt. Now, of course, this is still drying. And then what you'll do is you'll come in and fold that over, take it to your, I like to use my tooling slab and skive that down, because it'll lay flat back here like that, more or less. But right now it's not going to do nothing but just set up and dry some more. Now you got your bottom piece here. I may end up skiving this thinner. Not sure yet, because it's a barrel racing saddle. They don't need a big old wide roping type horn. So, and I'm not decided about that yet either, because I don't want the dadgum thing falling apart. So anyway, the next thing we'll do here now is I have to glue it, and it's too wet to glue right now. So I'm just kind of showing you the process and until it gets ready to done. But once it's glued, it'll stay like that. You put your candle binder pliers right here and get that stuck as close as you can. Then you'll come and check your mark back here for your center line, and you got to go in here and get that same width notched up or marked right there. Now, when you cut that, you don't want to cut it straight. You want to go from here out, from the middle out, so that when you do get it cut, it lays, and again, we'll have to do it once it's glued. So again, that's just your introduction, and I'm going to stop this part of it, and then I'll start doing some of the, I got to skive the horn itself up there, which I'll do on the time lapse. And again, I might skive this a little thinner because it's going to still be pretty thick up there when you add that third piece. So I don't want to skive this down simply because that's where your 2 nails are at. And on a bigger horn, you'll use 3 or 4, but that'll keep that from doing like this, because them girls are constantly left and right, and I don't want that coming loose on them by golly. So there's that. So we'll talk to you a little bit. Toodaloo, buckaroos. This is DavidMillsSaddlery.com. Thanks for watching. I got some more work. I got some more work to do on this one here. Kind of round this off a little more. This will be the under piece. Dang, look at that. Ugh. Hopefully that's hidden. Okay, now we're going to skip into some real-time stuff here to kind of show you what we did. And what more we might have to do. Whoops, I'm looking beyond the camera, which I shouldn't be doing, but you can see right about here, I got a little bump I want to take care of. Trying to skive that down real smooth to nothing. Oops. Again, I apologize. I can't do two things at once, which is like hold the camera, operate the camera, focus, point the camera, and then do all this. But anyway. Hopefully you can see on the time-lapse stuff what we did. We've made this. This is going to be the bottom piece, which I did not skive. I may regret that. May have to rip it all off and start all over again. And then here's the top or the middle piece. We're just waiting for the glue to set up. That should be the same right in there. And once that glue's set up, we'll put them together. I'll run 2 tacks through it simply because that's real small. And then we'll put the top piece and glue it up top here only, and then stitch it. And then we'll come back and wrap it before I put my swell cover on. So that's it for this little clip. I'll put it back on the tripod. I was trying to figure out what that word was. And go back to the time-lapse stuff. Well, I'm going to poke the first couple of holes in real time so that you get an idea of what, how much time is involved in all this. Took me 3 pokes to get it in the right spot. I'll move the camera and show you here in a minute. The other thing I got to remember is this angle that I'm at here. I'm going to have to allow for that when I cut around the horn. If not, I'll end up doing what I did the first time I did this, and that's cut into the thread. Nobody wants to do that. So now I'm going to go ahead and slow it down, or time lapse it, so that you can see what we're doing when we're stitching. Well, there's really not a good place to put the camera other than directly overhead, but got a ceiling fan up there. So I'm going to show you what I do. I double check myself because, you know, blonde hair and everything. And I got a spot that's a little wider on this side. Through no fault of my own, that's just the way the tree is wrapped. But I basically used this ruler and did that and made a mark about 1/8 of an inch out from where it should hit. Then I went back to my original center hole and then drew a circle. So here we go. The first thing I'm going to do is trim a lot of this excess off over here because we don't need it in the way. Wish I could cut the horn that fast, huh? There's a lot of this going on as well. But this is a good practice. Practice trying not to pick up your blade or move your blade. Trying to stay on top of your blade as you're watching or as you're cutting so it stays square to the ground. Or I guess perpendicular to the ground. You'll save yourself a whole lot of sandpapering if you follow those little tips right there. Fun part now for me is not getting into my wrap. Remember, this ain't the final cut. This is just trying to get rid of some of the excess out there. So when I do make my final cut, it's a little easier. That almost feels too wet, but we're going for it. And I'll put that blade down. Actually, I'm gonna put that blade on something flat. I don't want me no Mr. Gravity to grab a hold of it. Where is my little thing right here? I'm using that as a rubber, as a kind of get that down as low as I can through here so I can see where I can go and not go. Hold this tight for now. Now, I hate to do that because remember I told you don't be moving your knife, or because you'll end up with a different angle. But I had to come at it over here from a different angle. So now I'm going to kind of get in here and duplicate where I was and hope for the best. I just sharpened this son of a gun too, by golly. It should be going right through that. There you go. There you go, David. All right, now I got to get this side over here kind of tucked away out of the way so that you put this on a flat spot. Using this kind of like I had some antler bones, but I can't freaking find them, Mr. Organization. Alright, now back over here. Trick here is to put a little round to it without getting too carried away and cutting too far that way. But once I get it past that spot right there, which you can't see from where you're at, but now I can come in from this other side and cut the rest of that off there gingerly. That'll clean up with a edge beveler that I'm going to have to use on this here next anyway. Righty then. I know what I need is a different knife. Come here. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Uh-oh, where is that knife? There it is right here. I got a little right there, but I'll have to do that with sandpaper. So let me show you from different views what we got done. And then of course what's next. I gotta round that off a little bit here. I'll show you. This time I'm gonna try to look through the camera. Oh, I forgot I got it zoomed in. There. So from above, I like that little radius there. That'll get my big edge beveler up in there. This edge, I need to round that up a little bit better, which I can do with sandpaper. And then right there. And then let's show you what the underside looks like. Some spots here I got to get with some sandpaper, but there it is, kids. I'll come back later. Toodaloo, buggeroo. Well, all right, kids, I'm back. We're going to do the next step here, and that's going to be to get your horn itself wrapped. So, I've done a lot of pre-stretching, I guess, wrapping, and making sure I got it right where I want it and whatnot. So what I'm going to do now is come up underneath here and lather that up with some wet, or some glue on this first side here. And I'm going to leave that glue kind of sort of wet so that I can put that down there and get it formed and or sucked up to that post right there by God. This is a little different than a cutting horn because yes, it's narrow up top, but it's kind of wide at the bottom. Not sure why, but it is. That's just the way it is. I got nails holding them skirts in, so trying to get it leveled up. All right, this is the one we're gonna wrap up first. Whoa, mule, I just spilled a bunch of glue. Dadgummit. All right, I'm gonna stop the video and clean my mess up. All right, let's try this again. I don't know if that's enough for y'all to see or not. I'll hope so. Anyway, I got that all sewn up last you seen me and got it rubbed down. I still got to dye the edges and rub it some more. So what we're going to do next, and I'm going to get this a little bit wetter on the top side here, so it'll shape a little better. I'm not trying to get any on the flesh side because I want that glue to stick a little better and everything. So now I'm gonna not glue this, but glue up over here on this. So's that. I only want to work with the one side for right now. Because this will be the side that's covered. You won't see it. Don't get that on your horn, silly. Oh, I don't want none over there. All right, now we'll put a little bit on the horn itself. Stay up here. I believe that'll get everything. Put my lid back on my glue. And start wrapping. Nah. Get out the way. Of course, you can't see the side I'm working on over here. I'm trying to get these little wrinkles and bubbles and stuff out before that glue gets too dadgum hard, huh? Now, aiming for that nail I had in there earlier. Which I can where'd that hammer go? Duh, right here. Just need that in there for a little bit right now. Now the fun part. Now I need to put a little bit of scratch on that right there so that the glue will want to stick. And I'm using a really fine sandpaper because that'll also flatten out some bumps that might accidentally be there from the skiving I was doing earlier. All right, now we put some glue down. Here, let me do this. I leave this fan on for two reasons. Keep the temperature down and help stuff get dried up pretty quick. So now the fun part. I don't want no glue on that horn right there. And I guess I should have fast forwarded or did the time lapse on this, but this I wanted y'all to see the process of. There's that. Now to come around, which, duh, I didn't scratch that leather up over here, any. Just helps the leather bond when you do it like this. Now I gotta be careful over here because there's spots that aren't gonna be covered. All right, let's see what happens here, huh? And I can kind of, you can't see it because of where the camera's at, but I can kind of sort of see where Daddy is. Now I'll have to come back and get some more glue here in a minute, but I'm gonna do some stretching first. Stretching and putting that down there like that. See how that gets wider at the base? And you can see where I'm rubbing glue off already, which that's okay. I can come back and put more in it here in a minute. Fixing to get, yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, I kind of pretty much where I wanted it. Now, see, I need more glue down here, but I'm gonna kind of give myself a cheating line there so I can scratch that ever so gingerly. You can see I got it scratched down there. All right, let's slap some fresh glue down. Oops. So now I got another tool I'm going to fixing to use here, and it's called a Chinaman's loop. I'm not sure where that name came from, but what it does is it'll wrap around this vegetable leather here, vegetan leather here, whoopsie, and then get everything nice and tight. Ooh, I can see all that glue wanting to come out. I got a little bit of it trying to roll up over here too, but let's not do that. Might have too much down there, huh? let it set up and get a little more tackier. All the while keeping what I've already got done flattened up. That's why that fan's kind of handy up there. Help me get it dry. Come here. Of course, it doesn't help when I look up and look right into that big old LED light. All right, let's do this right here. Start low. This horn, it's not like a roping horn. Kind of angles forward. Okay. You'll see here in a second why it's important to have that glue still wet. There. I need a little glue right there, by golly. Right there. Which I might have to get the coarser sandpaper out. Just a little bit. Now that glue's not sticking to my unsanded parts here just right now. And I wish I'd have skied that a little bit thinner right there, dang it. But that's okay, I'll go over the top of it here in a minute. Where's my big one? where's my big rub stick? There it is, way over yonder. I'm trying to keep my fingers down here. There we go. Now once I get that swell cover over that, that'll stay a little better as well. And another thing I'll do before I get the swell cover in here is I will come in and skive some of this down where it's several pieces on top of each other. Notice I hadn't put a nail in yet over here because I might need to stretch that a little tighter. All this is a piece of latigo that I've skived the edges on, and then I've doubled it and reinforced it with some stitching so I can do this right here. I'm sure y'all are seeing that bottom piece there trying to buckle up on me and everything. And I'm just over here trying to keep it flat. Keep it going down this way. Okay, I like it. I wish this wasn't so far over, but that's okay. I can live with it. Oops, got a little glue up here. I got something on another table that'll help get that off of there, but for now I'm just going to do that. And put the lid on the glue. Still needs to come some more. I gotta stand funny to get my leg locked around this so that when I'm pushing on this, All right, well, the rest of the time, I mean, only thing left to do now is just keep rubbing on it. So that it, once it's dried, it's got a nice smooth check, you know, around like that to make sure there's no bubbles or nothing. In case that glue didn't stick. So I guess I'll turn y'all loose. Then when I get this done, this rubbing thing done, I'll sit down and put all these little short videos I made, put them together so y'all can see it. If you made it this far into the videos, well, I appreciate you watching. Good night. Toodaloo, buckaroos.